What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Anything But Basic. And let me adjust the volume here real quick. That's probably too loud. Okay. Grayscale could sue the SEC if the spot ETF application is denied. And there's been multiple articles on this. And yeah, it seems pretty serious, but really, from what I've read so far, this is just Greyscale practicing and getting into position, and that's scaring him. So let's just read through the article. Greyscale Investment could potentially sue the Securities Exchange Commission if agencies fail to convert the Greyscale Bitcoin Trust into a spot Bitcoin exchange trade fund. This follows the company's move to bolster its legal team to work on the ETF application after hiring former United States Solicitor General Donald B. Verrilli, Jr., who served between 2011 and 2016. Through his Twitter account, Bloomberg senior ETF analyst Eric B. explained the appointment of Grayscale's preparedness to sue SEC if the regulatory body fails to approve the Bitcoin spot ETF by the July 6th deadline. The SEC is likely to approve spot Bitcoin ETF. According to Eric B., the SEC will likely approve the application, and really a former Obama administration employee will play a key role. The analyst was reporting, the analyst was responding to the tweet by Jake Stravinsky, a lawyer who noted that the U.S. regulatory body would not survive a legal battle if Grayscale sued. According to Stravinsky, Grayscale has met all the qualifications to spot ETF to be approved. The SEC deadline to approve or deny application to convert GTBC to the ETF is July 6th. No doubt it should be approved, but I don't see how the SEC survives a legal challenge if not, especially one led by John Verrilli, he said. Grayscale preparing for legal battle. While announcing Verrilli's appointment, Grayscale acknowledged that it might be preparing for a legal battle in the Bitcoin spot ETF approval tussle. In this role, Verrilli will serve as the senior strategist in the Bitcoin ETF application. During his tenure as the U.S. Solicitor General, Verrilli was the lead lawyer representing the government in numerous Supreme Court cases. Ahead of the July 6th deadline, Grayscale CEO Michael Sorensen had expressed his optimism that the ETF application would be approved. The possible approval of the ETF will likely impact the cryptocurrency market with a focus on the price movement of digital currencies. With spot Bitcoin ETF investors would be able to safely enter the market without directly investing in Bitcoin. So that means you're going to get fake Bitcoin. It's going to turn into the silver market, and some guy from the Obama era is going to lead the charge. It sounds like a great way. It sounds like a great way to start the next bull run. Honestly, what do you guys think? U.S. gas prices are $5, and with the increase of the price for gas, that means the increase of energy costs are going to come to a head, which leads us into our next article: Bitcoin miners. Talking about some mining now. Bitcoin miners in Washington, Chilean countries face a 30% increase in electricity fees. Bitcoin mining operations in Chilean country, Washington, are going to soon face increase in the price of electricity they purchase. This week, in the country's PUD commissioners gave their approval to change, which would result in an increase of around 29% in cost of electricity required for the Bitcoin mining as per a report on July 8th by News Radio 560 KPQ. The mining firms are being moved from the rate schedule for high density loads to the newly developed cryptocurrency rate schedule, commonly known as Rate 36. This move, which Commissioner Gary Arsenal refers to as groundbreaking, will result in an increase in the electrical rates, Arsenal stated. Why Bitcoin miners are moving to a higher rate. Overall, Bitcoin mining businesses utilize much larger quantities of electricity and thus being transferred to a higher rate than all other customers. Since Bitcoin mining currently uses nearly 25% of the available electricity from the country, PUD, Douglas Country has decided to stop allowing any new firms of this kind of set up in the country. Back in 2018, the Chilean PUD commissioners decided to begin charging cryptocurrency customers a a higher rate than other customers. It was originally supposed to go into force in January, but the date was pushed back to June. As a result, the decision taken by the PUD Commission on Monday will now go into effect on June 1st. Additionally, the commissioners gave their approval for transition contracts to be issued to 3 qualifying Bitcoin miners. This was done due to the fact that these miners had already made significant investments in their operations prior to the adoption of Rate 36. Customers on the Bitcoin pricing schedule are subject to the same 3% general rate increase that applies to all customers, which will affect both the basic and demand costs. Because we're Bitcoin mining in the U.S. In just last week, the state of North Dakota to become home to green Bitcoin mining company BitZero. Meanwhile, in terms of mining, the crypto regulation, the New York Senate passed Bitcoin mining ban bill over environmental concerns at the same time with the White House is currently preparing a policy to fight Bitcoin mining environmental impact. So you hear that, guys? They don't want you mining. They don't want you mining here. They don't want you mining in they don't want you mining in the United States, most parts of the United States. And that's what we're getting. Now, the question is, how do they determine who's a Bitcoin mining company? Do you they just take it off for taxes, whatever? Or do you see you just pushing in, crypto and selling it, or what is it? That's what I want to know. Now, of course, that's not answered in this article. Let's see. Should I go into this one? Crypto industry shows some love to new industry-friendly bill-regulated digital assets. So basically what I'm getting is that we're going to get fake Bitcoin. It's not going to be mined by small miners. It's going to be mined by big farms. And basically everything's going to move to proof of stake. And you're going to have to go through all these hoops and whatever just to get, a little scratch of Bitcoin. This is becoming just like silver, where they hold all of it, silver and gold, where they hold all of it and then tell you that it's worth nothing. Then you take it all and then you give it up, or they force you to give it up in some way. Regulators. I will touch on that probably in coming very soon. Again, regulations. In this article, crypto industry source love industry-friendly bill regulating digital assets. As of writing, the market capitalization of cryptocurrencies totals 1.7 trillion, comprised of around 18,140 cryptocurrencies and 460 exchanges. Approximately 90 billion worth of cryptocurrencies, namely Bitcoin and Ethereum, are traded every day. Given the magnitude of the market and the coming legislative trust is important to assess the present status of the new bipartisan legislation introduced this week. 5 BTC. That's ad. The crypto sector applauds a new framework for regulating digital assets, but a consumer advocate has expressed worry over the part that delegates the majority of the regulating authorities of the U.S. Commodities Future Trading Commissions. First concrete step into regulating crypto. The bill, championed by U.S. Senators Kristen Gilbert, DNY, and Cynthia Lumens, RWY, represent the first major move toward overseeing the sector lately shaken by the implosion of stablecoins and the decline of the crypto markets. The bill also brings into action the first tangible bipartisan legislation aimed to tame the Wild West crypto sector, by classifying digital assets as commodities such as rice or sugar, and enabling the CFTC to regulate the emerging industries. These are the face of the regulators. These are the ones not wanting you to have fun. These are the Karens from the 60s, 70s. I don't know if you can see my mouse moving. These are what you're fighting up against. They just don't want you to have any kind of fun whatsoever. My home state of Wyoming has gone to great lengths to lead to lead the country in digital asset regulation, and I want to bring that success to the federal level. As the industry continues to grow, it's imperative that the Congress craft legislation that promotes innovation while protecting consumers from bad actors. But this bill will not be enacted into law in the U.S. Congress, according to Cohen analyst Jared Seiberg. An interview with Yahoo Finance. Congress is not ready to act on crypto legislation, he said. Let's see. Try to get through this. But this bill will not see. Bills deemed generally viewed as positive. The crypto industry's lobbyists consider the law as a starting point for bigger discourse on how to govern the sector. This view, the bill themes is mainly positive. Nothing it advances the conversation, but there are elements that may be improved. The Bipartisan Responsible Financial Innovation Act is a landmark measure that will establish a regulatory framework that promotes innovation, establish specific guidelines, specific or appropriate general limits, and safeguards consumers. Gillibrand stated in the press release, for this part, New York City Mayor Eric Adams invested in his early paychecks in Bitcoin and Ether, while U.S. Democrat Rep. Ritori Torres said in March that his city should and must embrace crypto if it is to remain the financial capital of the world. Earlier in March, U.S. President Biden signed a long-awaited executive order on ensuring responsibility, development in digital assets, and permanent recognition of the industry's potential. Praneen Boring, CEO of the Chamber of Digital Commerce, said in a statement, "We commend Senator Loomis for setting up the framework for a comprehensive set of rules that will provide the industry and regulators with much needed clarity and certainty. In addition, the upcoming legislation imposes further criteria on which digital currencies can be functional stablecoins and how they would interact with the depository institutions, an issue that the Federal Reserve has been investigating." My final words on this is cryptocurrencies are being set up, at least in the United States, to just be regulated out of existence. That's just all there is to it. Yes, you can create more cryptocurrencies, but as they get regulated and stumped on, regulated and stifled, with all these Karens making the Wild West safe, quote unquote, air quotes, it's just going to die out. It's going to die out in Peter, and everybody's going to be rushing to get rid of their Bitcoin because of regulations. And I'll see you guys later.